Hello. Hi there. The other day, maybe 4 days ago or so, I was out on a walk. I'm not doing a lot of jogging, but actually I was doing, let it be said, I did a little bit of jogging first time this year, but mostly walking. The jogging was when it was downhill. And when I got uphill, I started walking. But it's better than nothing, I think, and it was a start. But I don't know if it was that or what it was that triggered this thought, which I want to share with you today, about, I guess, journey, if you will, or something like that. And and I was thinking suddenly, of course you can have different images in your head, and I oftentimes think in images, but I was thinking how many, probably, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of days has passed since I became a believer. And I don't know why I thought about that. I thought about all the days. Of course you can perceive your life as days or nights or days and nights or 24 hours or weeks or months or years. But for some reason I thought about all the different days. And they have been so many because I've been a believer almost 40 years now. And all the different days that have passed, like a day like today, for example. Today is today, and this is the day that we have. Most of these days that have passed, I don't even remember. I can recall a couple of days here and there, but if you ask me, okay, tell me where were you year 2010, April 14th or something, I wouldn't be able to say. And still, all of those days I have lived, and things have happened. And I don't know if you have seen one of my probably the first vlog that I did. I explained or talked about how I became a believer and why, and what were the reasons that got me searching, and things like that. And there I also said that when you start following Christ, it's only the start, and that's when the journey starts, and that's when the walk starts. And so it's not like you become a believer and then it's like, okay, next time we check the things, it's heaven. No, it's every day. It's a process, and it's a walk, and it's a journey. It's a way. And I was thinking about my own way, my own journey, how the change that has happened, because we're supposed to change when we walk with Jesus, it has been by Him. And I don't even know how it has happened, but now here I am so many years later, so many days later, and I understand that I am different from, whatever, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and so on. And this is the way it's supposed to go for everyone who believes. And I want to read from the Bible again, and this again is the Amplified version, because I think it says the thing well here. This is from Mark 4, and it's the parable of the seed, and you probably know this well. But I want to, I was thinking about this when I thought about myself, and this came to my mind. I'm going to read. So then he said, so this is Jesus saying, then he said, the kingdom of God is like a man who throws seed on the ground. And he goes to bed at night and gets up every day. And in the meantime, the seed sprouts and grows. How it does this, he doesn't know. The earth produces crops by itself. First the blade, then the head of grain, then the mature grain in the head. But when the crop ripens, he immediately puts in the sickle to reap, because the time for the harvest has come. Of course, this Bible passage has many other implications as well, but I'm not going to go into that. But this just came into my mind when I was thinking about myself. I don't know how that has happened. When you put a seed in the ground, it starts growing because it's a seed. That's what seeds do. They grow into a certain kind of a plant. And even if you stood there and watched it, or if you stood there and ran around it all the time, it wouldn't grow faster, right? What it does need, though, is that it needs watering and it needs sun. maybe some other, I don't know, nurturing things. I don't know about those things, but I do know at least that it needs water and sun. And those things I'm going to talk about next time. So I hope that you'll join me for next week as well. But when it grows, it just grows. You know, it grows because it's a seed. And the growth that we as believers experience, the real kind of growth, comes from God. He gives it. We don't produce it. We can't produce it. That'll be something else. You know, when we try to do it, and sometimes we try to do it, that's something else. But that's not the growth that God gives, and the growth that we're supposed to be experiencing. This just gives me this sense of thankfulness. You know, that He, you know, first of all, He called me. You know, He gave me the faith needed, you know, and then he does the changing. So it's all His work. So basically, what I need to do is stay out of the way, so to speak. But more about that, you know, next time, because there is something that we need to do our part. But that is, I think, something totally different than we think. Oftentimes, something that I would think, oftentimes. But the growth, you know, in this case, and everything else that is good, that is really good, comes from Him. So I hope you stay, you know, or you join me again for next week, because we're going to talk about how we allow this growth to happen.